I died choking on my own vomit in a dingy motel room off I-95. The taste of cheap bourbon and betrayal burning my throat like acid rain. My last thought a curse for the boy who'd emptied my life savings and left me penniless at 62. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my body 15 years earlier. Heart pounding in a kitchen that still smelled like fresh-baked apple pie instead of regret. My hands young and steady on the counter where I'd just signed over the deed to our family home in exchange for his big dreams. And there he was, my son Tommy, 19 and cocky as a fox in a henhouse, grinning over his shoulder from the living room couch, bragging to his deadbeat buddies on speakerphone. Yeah, Ma's loaded now, drained her accounts clean.
Boys.
She's clueless. Thinks it's for college. Sheriff's gonna serve her eviction papers any second. And I'll be laughing from my penthouse. The words hit like a freight train. But this time, I didn't crumple. This time, I smiled back, cold as a winter grave in Vermont, and whispered to the ghost of my future self, "Not if I bury you first. You little shit." That grin of his, it was the same one from the end, the one that haunted my final breaths. Back then, in the motel haze, I'd pieced it together too late. Tommy hadn't just siphoned my retirement for his crypto scams and strip club benders. He'd forged my signature on the house, sold it to some sleazy developer buddy, and tipped off the bank about irregular activity to freeze what was left. The sheriff's knock had come at dawn, papers in hand, while Tommy texted me from Miami, "Sorry,
Ma.
had to cut ties. Love ya." Followed by a winking emoji that tasted like bile.
Now.
Reborn in this crisp September morning of 2010, the air humming with the low buzz of my old flip phone on the Formica counter. I felt the weight of that second chance like a loaded .38 in my purse. Sadie Hargrove, widow at 47, small-town accountant in Elmwood, Pennsylvania, population 8,247, where everyone knew your sins but pretended they were secrets. I'd built this life from the ashes of my husband Rick's trucking accident, scraping pennies into a nest egg for Tommy's future. Irony? That future was a Ponzi scheme wrapped in a trust fund bow. I straightened my blouse, blue cotton, ironed stiff like my resolve, and stepped into the living room. Tommy was sprawled there, legs kicked up on the coffee table I'd bought with overtime from H&R Block, his Xbox controller forgotten mid-game. His buddies, Jake and Marco, the kind of kids who peaked in high school, cackled through the phone's tinny speaker. "Tommy," I said, voice steady as a judge's gavel. "Hang up. We need to talk." He glanced up, that boyish charm flickering like a faulty bulb.
Ma?
"What's up?" "We're just..."
Now.
The word cracked like thunder, and, for a split second, his eyes widened, the same flicker of fear I'd seen in the motel mirror, staring at my reflection as the pills kicked in. He muttered excuses, killed the call, and sat up, rubbing his neck like he could scrub away the guilt that hadn't bloomed yet. I sat across from him on the armchair, the one with the Afghan my mother knitted before cancer took her. "Tell me about your plans, son." "The big ones." He leaned forward, elbows on knees, that salesman's smile sliding into place, the one he'd hone over the next decade into a weapon.
"Ah. Ma.
You know. College apps are out. Wharton, maybe Stanford. Gonna make you proud. That deed you signed? It's leverage. Cosign on a loan. Get me seed money for this app idea. Revolutionary stuff, social media for gamers.
Lies.
All of it. In my first life, That app became a front for laundering daddy's poker winnings through offshore accounts. By 30, he'd be indicted, but not before dragging me down, framing me as the enabler in court docs leaked to the local rag, local widow complicit in son's fraud ring. The scandal? It shattered me, friends vanished, clients bailed, and in the end, alone with a bottle and a bottle of regrets. This time, I nodded, playing the part. Sounds ambitious. But let's get real.
Tommy.
Money doesn't grow on trees, even in America. What's the catch? He laughed. Too loud.
Too quick.
Catch?
Ma.
You're the best. It's all above board. I reached into my purse, pulled out the bank statement I'd printed that morning before the reset. I'd memorized every fraudulent transfer. But here, it was pristine. My 401k fat at $187,432. Then why'd I get this alert? Small withdrawal. $500. To some Cayman outfit. Ring a bell? His face paled. Just a shade. But I caught it. Must be a glitch. I'll check. Check now. I slid my laptop across his graduation gift, already riddled with spyware in the future timeline. He fumbled, logging in under my watchful eye. And there it was, the first digital breadcrumb. A test transfer to Tech Ventures LLC, his shell company. Tommy, I said softly, lethally, this stops. Today. He blinked, feigning confusion.
Ma.
What the hell? It's nothing. I leaned in, voice dropping to a whisper that echoed my deathbed rasp. Nothing?
Boy.
You have no idea what nothing costs. But you will. That night, as he sulked off to his room, blasting Linkin Park to drown out the tension, I poured myself a scotch, neat, no chaser, and mapped it out on a yellow legal pad. Revenge wasn't a sprint, it was a marathon of thorns. Step 1, secure the assets. I'd lawyer up tomorrow. Amend the deed. Tie it in trusts he couldn't touch. Step 2, dig. Tommy wasn't alone in this. In the first go-round, his uncle, my brother-in-law, Sleazy Lou from Philly, had been the puppet master, whispering Ponzi gospel over backyard barbecues.
Lou.
With his used car lot and a side hustle in fake Rolexes, had groomed Tommy since Rick's funeral. But secrets?
Oh.
They festered deeper. The buried one that gutted me. Rick's accident wasn't fate. Lou had tampered with the brakes, insurance scam gone wrong. Hushed up with a fat payout split 3 ways. I discovered it too late. In a manila envelope Tommy accidentally left on the dash during a visit. Docs yellowed with age. Lou's revenge on Rick for cutting him out of the will. And Tommy, he'd known, protected his uncle for a cut of the pie. Controversial? Hell yes. In my first life, I'd confronted Lou, begged Tommy to turn state's evidence. They laughed me off. Then Lou vanished to Aruba. Tommy pinned it on me. Unstable widow. Delusions of persecution. Cops hauled me in for harassment, and that was the spark for my spiral.
Now?
I'd play dirty. No badges. No tears. I'd build a paper trail that'd choke them both, anonymous tips to the IRS. Planted evidence in Lou's glove box during a family visit. But the real knife? Turning Tommy's own ego against him. Let him chase those dreams. But lace them with trackers. Watch him squirm as his empire crumbled from within. Dawn broke gray over Elmwood. The kind of Pennsylvania sky that promised rain and rot. I drove to the bank first. Withdrew half in cash, tucked into a safe deposit box under a false name. Sadie Mills. My maiden. Then the lawyer, Evelyn Torres. A sharp Latina from the next county over, who'd once handled Rick's estate pro bono. Prenup-level protections, I told her, sliding over a retainer check. For my son.
He's
ambitious. Evelyn arched a brow, her gold hoop earrings catching the fluorescence. Ambitious how? The kind that eats its mother. We both chuckled, but mine was hollow. As she drafted the trusts, irrevocable, ironclad, I felt the first thrill of power, a drug sharper than any high Tommy chased. By noon, I was at Lou's lot. Cousin Sadie, he boomed, clapping my shoulder too hard, his breath like stale cigars and deceit. Balding, paunchy in a polyester suit, he was the American dream's ugly underbelly. Pull yourself up by grifting your kin. Tommy says hi, I lied, sliding into his office, a trailer masquerading as empire. Needed advice on that loan. His eyes lit, hook,
line.
Kid's got vision.
Like his old man.
We bullshitted for an hour. Me nodding, him spilling offshore tips. Legit brokers in the Caymans. I recorded it all on a burner phone tucked in my bra. Voice memo ticking like a bomb. Speaking of Rick, I ventured. Casual as coffee. Ever wonder about those breaks? Cops closed it quick. But Lou froze. Then laughed it off. Tragedy?
Sadie.
Life's a highway. Right?
Right.
But highways have detours to hell. That evening, Tommy came clean or tried. Burst into the kitchen as I chopped onions for meatloaf. His face a mask of rehearsal.
Ma.
About the money. I dipped in. For the app. I'll pay back double. I set the knife down. Slow. Dipped? Try drowned. Son. But okay. One chance. We go legit. You enroll at community college, local. Work weekends at the diner. Prove it. His jaw dropped. Community?
Ma.
That's a joke. I got offers. Offers from who? Your uncle? The name hung like smoke. He flushed. Defensive. Lou's just helping. Family sticks together. Family? I laughed, bitter as the onions stinging my eyes. Family doesn't forge deeds.
Tommy.
Or bury murder under insurance claims. The word murder landed like a gut punch. He stammered. What the fuck?
Ma.
You're losing it. But I saw it, the crack in his armor. The secret slithering out. Ask Lou. About the envelope. The one with the mechanic's report Rick never saw. He bolted then. Door slamming. Tires squealing out the drive. I finished dinner alone. Ate by candlelight, ironic. Romanticizing ruin, and texted Evelyn. Add clause. Disinherit on fraud. Week blurred into strategy. I audited my life. Cancelled cards. Monitored statements via alerts I'd never set before. Tommy played nice surface charm. Late nights studying on his laptop. I installed keyloggers, courtesy of a shady forum post for my future knowledge. Hits piled up. Emails to Lou. Wire transfers disguised as gifts. Controversy brewed at Thanksgiving. Lou hosted. Turkey stuffed with entitlement. Extended family crammed into his McMansion. Second wife Tina. Bleach blonde and boozy. Cousins from Jersey nursing grudges. Tommy sat beside me, whispering,
See?
We're good. Then, over pie, I dropped the bomb. Pulled out the printout, not the recording.
Not yet.
Just the IRS Form 1099. Flagged for unreported income from Tech Ventures. Lou, I said, passing it down the table like a hot potato. Thought you'd want a heads up. Audits are a bitch. Silence. Thicker than gravy. Lou's fork clattered. Sadie, what is this shit? Due diligence.
Brother-in-law.
Family sticks. Right? Tommy's knee bounced under the table. His eyes pleading, don't ruin this. Tina snorted. Always the dramatic one.
Sadie.
Ricked rollover. Ricked puke, I shot back. Voice steady. If he knew about the breaks. The table erupted, gasps. Denials. Lou's face purple as the cranberry sauce. You're unhinged. Get out. We left in a storm of slammed doors. Tommy fuming in the passenger seat.
Why? Ma.
He was gonna loan us. Us. I swerved onto the highway. Wipers slashing rain. There's no us.
Tommy.
There never was. He exploded then. Truths spilling like vomit. You think you're saint? Dad owed Lou. Gambling debts. The accident. It evened the score. Evened. The word ignited something primal. I pulled over. Tires crunching gravel on the shoulder. And slapped him, hard. The crack echoing like my breaking heart. Controversial? Child services would call it abuse. But in that moment, it was absolution. Don't, I hissed, ever speak for your father again. He touched his cheek. Stunned. Then sneered, the future grin. Full bloom. You're done.
Ma.
Lou's got dirt. That nest egg? Halves from his payouts. You knew about the scam. Liar. But the seed of doubt? It wormed in. Had I? In the blur of grief. Signing papers. Trusting family.
No.
This was the twist shadow. Back home, I dug deeper. Old boxes in the attic. Rick's ledgers. There, a note. Scrawled in his hand. Sadie, Lou's pushing insurance angle.
Don't sign shit. Love. R.
Dated a week before the crash. I'd burned it. Subconscious sabotage? Or lose plant. Paranoia clawed. But resolve hardened. Revenge phase 2. Leak. Anonymous email to the DA's tip line. Lou's recording attached. Timestamps matching Rick's death date. Break tampering. Fraud cover-up. Check the widow's SIGs.
Then.
To Tommy, I froze his accounts. Via Evelyn's injunction. He came at me raging. Fists balled but not swinging yet. You're killing me. This is my life. Your life, I echoed.
Packing his bags.
Starts over. Like mine did. He laughed.
Broken.
What? You and an inheritance or something. Fuck you.
Ma.
As he stormed out, crashing at Jake's, I felt the noose loosen. But the high? Fleeting. Nights blurred into whiskey dreams. Ghosts of what-ifs. What if I forgave? What if blood was thicker? Winter bit hard. Elmwood blanketed in ice that mirrored my veins. Lou's lot shuttered overnight. Federal raid. Headlines blared. Philly dealer nabbed an embezzlement ring. Tommy vanished. Texts from burners. Help me.
Ma.
They're coming. I deleted them. Unread. But the controversial gut punch? When the cops showed at my door. Badge gleaming under porch light. Mrs. Hargrove, we need to talk about your brother's accident. Twist, my tip backfired. Forensics on the recording, voice deepfake tech. Nascent in 2010, but loose hackers were ahead. Planted to frame me as the vengeful liar. Obstruction of justice, the detective drawled, cuffs glinting. You stirred the pot, ma'am. In the squad car, rain lashing windows. Tommy's face flashed, smirking from the shadows. Lou's pawn turned king. He'd flipped the script, using my instability from family whispers. Jail was gray purgatory, but rebirth's gift?
Time.
I lawyered with Evelyn, countersued on the ledgers. Months dragged, trials tangled like Christmas lights.
Testimony me.
Voice cracking but clear. He killed my husband. Stole my son. Twist upon twist, Tommy testified for the prosecution. Ma's always been paranoid. After Dad.
Lies.
But the jury ate it. Small town bias thick as fog. Acquittal came on a technicality, chain of custody on the recording botched. But victory?
Pyrrhic.
Lou deported to a cell in Leavenworth. Tommy skipped bail. Last sighting, Miami strip club. Alias Tommy Mills.
Me?
I sold the house, legit this time, moved to a cabin in the Poconos. Whiskey my companion. No happy ever after.
Just a cold piece.
Reborn to ruin?
Yeah.
But sometimes, the real revenge is outliving the bastards. One bitter sip at a time. Wait, no. That's not the end. Dawn of my first free spring. A knock echoes. Not sheriff. A letter, postmarked Cayman. Inside, a check. And signed. For $187,432. And a note. Tommy scrawl, even the score.
Ma.
Don't look back. I burn it. Ashes scattering on the wind. Forgiveness?
Hell no.
But closure?
Close enough for a ghost like me.
The burn of that letter lingered like smoke in my lungs.
But it didn't choke me this time. No.
Sadie Hargrove had learned to breathe fire. It was April 2011 now. The Poconos thawing into a muddy rebirth of their own, streams swelling. Birds mocking with songs of fresh starts I didn't trust. I'd traded Elmwood's picket fences for this log cabin on a forgotten acre off Route 940. The kind of place where hunters got deer and widows got regrets. Rent was cash. Landlord a grizzled vet who asked no questions. And my days blurred into audits for remote clients, numbers my armor, spreadsheets my blade. Tommy's gift. I'd traced it before torching, laundered through a shell in Nassau. His final fuck you or olive branch. Who knew? The kid was a chameleon, slithering from Ponzi prince to prodigal ghost. Lou rotted in Federal Gray Bar Hotel. Trial transcripts painting him as the kingpin of a Midwest chop shop syndicate. Breaks on Rick's rig, just the appetizer. Justice? Served cold. But it left me hollow, staring at ceiling cracks that mapped like the veins in my first life hands. Controversy knocked again, that summer, disguised as opportunity. Evelyn called from her Harrisburg office, voice crackling over spotty cell. Sadie, you busy? Got a client, big fish. Corporate fraud. Needs an eagle eye like yours. Pays double. I sipped black coffee on the porch, watching fog lift off the lake. What's the catch?
Ev.
No catch. Just. Sensitive. CEO's wife thinks hubby's cooking books. Reminds me of your boy. My grip tightened on the mug. Pass. Come on. You're clean now, acquitted. Assets locked. This could be your ticket back. Back. To what? Suburban traps. Family facades? But the money sang siren. and boredom bit harder than pride.
Fine.
But off books. Sadie Mills Consulting. The gig landed me in Pittsburgh's steel and glass jungle. A penthouse office overlooking the Allegheny, where power suits hid petty wars. The client, Victoria Langford. Steel heiress turned suspicious spouse. Blonde bob and pearls like armor. Her husband, Grant, mid-40s, ivy polish. The kind of wasp who summered in the Hamptons and wintered in hell for tax dodges. Embezzlement. Vicky confided over lunch at the Duquesne Club. Club's sandwich untouched. Millions vanishing into consulting fees. Grant swears it's rivals. But I smell insider. I nodded. Fork spearing lettuce like suspects. Show me the ledgers. Days bled into nights. Poring over PDFs in my cabin. Printer whirring like a conspirator. Patterns emerged, transfers to GL. Ventures, echoes of Tommy's tech ventures. Then the gut kick, signatures. Forged, sloppy. But the notary? Lose old Philly contact. Disbarred but still stamping sins. A coincidence? Bullshit. I dug deeper. Cross-referencing with my burner laptop. Dark web forums from my future cache. Whispers of a ghost network linking Midwest frauds to Caribbean cash laundries. Grant Langford's name popped. Alias T. Hargrove. Tommy's initials. My maiden twist. Rage boiled slow. Then scorched. My son. The phoenix. Rising from Lou's ashes into corporate canyons. He'd infiltrated the Langfords, intern at Grant's firm. Schmoozing Vicky at galas. Planting viruses in the books to siphon and frame the boss. Revenge on me? Or evolution? The apple not falling. Rolling into rot? I confronted Vicky in a rain-lashed parking garage. Wipers on her Beamer slashing like accusations. It's not Grant. It's the kid, your charity case intern. Tommy Hargrove. Her face drained. Foundation cracking. Tommy? But he's family now. Adopted him last year. After his tragic mom disowned him. Adopted. The word twisted like a knife in wedding cake. Tommy. Playing orphan card. Worming into their nest. Controversial decision loomed. Tell Vicky, unleash the hounds, or cut deeper, go rogue. Bleed him dry myself? I chose gray. Met Tommy at a dive bar off the strip. Neutral ground where neon lied about glamour. He slid into the booth. Leaner now. Hair slicked. Suit off the rack Armani.
Ma.
Heard you were slinging numbers again. Cut the shit. Son. I slid a folder across, printouts. Timelines linking his aliases to Langford's losses. Vicky's a mark? Grant's your patsy? His laugh was bourbon smooth, eyes gleaming with that future smug. Paranoid as ever. It's business.
Ma.
You taught me, numbers don't lie. People do. I taught loyalty. Voice low. Venomous. You learned betrayal from Lou. He leaned in. Breath minty over regret. Lou?
He's toast because of you.
Snitching like a rat. This. Wave at the folder. Survival. Vicky's loaded, billionaire blood. Grant's a fool. Easy squeeze. And me? Collateral? You left me no choice. Hurt flickered. Real or rehearsed. After the slap. The freeze out. I built this. You could have joined Hargrove and Son. LLC. Temptation whispered. Partner up. Launder the past.
But no.
End it. Walk away. Or I go to Vicky. Blackmail? He smirked. Classy.
Ma.
Family, I echoed his Thanksgiving line. Sticks a knife in first. He left with the folder. Ashes in the ashtray. Burned on sight. My Zippos flame a funeral pyre. But sleep evaded. Cabin walls closing like a coffin. Was this revenge or recursion? Birthing the monster anew? Twist coiled tighter that fall. Vicky called. Frantic. Sadie. Grant's arrested, FBI raid. Millions gone.
Tommy.
Vanished. Said something about old debts to his mom. I feigned shock. Drove to the city under harvest moon. Streets slick with fallen leaves like blood money. At the Langford estate. Manor on the hill. Columns mocking southern grace. A party raged. Wake disguised as gala. Vicky, tipsy on Chardonnay, pulled me aside. You knew about Tommy. Confession time.
Guessed.
Tried to stop him. She crumpled. Mascara rivers. He seduced me first affair. Then the adoption pitch. Grant suspected.
But.
Love blinds.
Love.
The word soured. Where's he hold up? Aruba. Lose old spot. She pressed a flash drive into my palm. Tommy's laptop backups. Swiped pre-raid.
Fix this.
For the firm. I took it. Drove through the night. Poconos blurring into black. Dawn found me at a truck stop. Drive-through coffee and code cracking. Files spilled. Emails to a S. Mills, me? Proposing splits. Blueprints for bigger scams. Targeting Pittsburgh's elite. And buried deepest. A video. Grainy for my first death, motel room. Me ranting to a mirror about betrayal. Time-stamped pre-suicide. Tommy's voiceover. See? She's the source. Unstable. He'd filmed me? No, deep fake again. My rant scripted from therapy notes he'd stolen. The ultimate twist. My rebirth knowledge? He'd anticipated. Looped me into his web via planted doubts. Rage crested. Controversial crest. I hacked back. Using Vicky's drive. I routed funds, Tommy slush, to anonymous NGOs. Anti-fraud whistleblowers. Then, the leak. Flashed the video to media. Anonymized. With context. Eris's adoptive son. Deepfake defamer? Headlines exploded. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette front page. Langford scandal. Prodigy or predator. Tommy surfaced in tabloids. Denying. But the net tightened. Interpol pinged Aruba. He called then. Burner to burner. Voice cracked like teen angst.
Ma.
You bitch. That was private. Private? Like forging my death. Static hissed. Ocean waves mocking. I did it for us. To expose Lou clean. Without your crazy snitching. Liar love. Come home.
Tommy.
Face it. Silence. Then click. Winter gripped again. Cabin snowbound. Vicky's check cleared. Bonus for salvage. But victory tasted ash. I'd ruined him. But mirrored my sins, hacking. Leaking. Gray as his grift. Then. The knock. Not ghost. FBI. Polite in wool coats. Mrs. Mills, we need your statement. On the deepfakes. Twist's blade, Tommy had flipped, testifying against me. Claiming I masterminded the Langford hit for revenge on his betrayal. Evidence? My cabin IP on the leaks. Cuffs cold. Ride to Pittsburgh a blur. Interrogation room, coffee bitter. Detective's eyes sharper. Your son says you're the architect. Reborn grudge. I laughed.
Hollow.
Reborn? Try resurrected rage. They didn't get it. But as I lawyered up, Evelyn again. Fierce, I saw the endgame. Tommy in witness protection. New life on my dime.
No.
This reset demanded finale. The holding cell smelled like bleach and broken promises. Fluorescent buzz a dirge for my second chance. Sadie Hargrove, or Mills, or whatever alias the feds pinned, paced 3 steps, heels clicking on concrete like a metronome to madness. It was February 2012. Pittsburgh's underbelly gnawing at my resolve. Headlines outside screaming mother-son fraud duel. Who's the viper? Tommy's photo smirked from the Post-Gazette vending machine. Airbrushed innocence. My mugshot grayscale ghost beside it. Evelyn stormed in at dawn. Briefcase snapping like judgment. They're building a case, conspiracy, wire fraud. Tommy singing like Sinatra.
Sadie.
Says you groomed him from Elmwood days. Use the rebirth, whatever that means, as cover for a long con. Rebirth. I'd mumbled it in the station haze. Fever dream confession. He knows. Somehow. She arched a brow. Latina fire and banked. Knows what?
Spill.
Or I walk. I did. The motel death. The reset every thorn. She listened. No judgment. Just notes. Delusional defense? Risky. But if we flip it, prove the deepfakes his. Tie to lose network, we walk. Strategy coalesced. Counterstrike. Subpoena Vicky's drive. Forensics on the video. My crazy? Reframe as trauma. Rick's death. Lose shadow. Tommy's prodigal poison. Controversial? Hell. Airing family laundry in open court. Painting my son as sociopath. American justice. Circus with gavels. Arraignment was a media melee. Flashbulbs popping like gunfire outside the courthouse. I pleaded not guilty. Chin up. Vicky testifying first, poised. Pearls choking her. Sadie saved us.
Tommy.
He prayed. Tommy took the stand next. Suit tailored. Eyes downcast Oscar bait. Mom's brilliant. Your honor. But broken. After Dad. She obsessed breaks. Betrayals. The rebirth talk? Schizophrenia flare. I covered for her. Till she targeted the Langfords. Gasps rippled. I locked eyes, his flicker. Fear or triumph. Cross-exam. Evelyn shredded him. Mr. Hargrove. These emails, S. Mills proposals. Your handwriting. Objection. Sustained. But the seed sprouted. Doubt in jury box. Whispers of perjury. Adjournment dragged weeks. Me out on bond. Cabin a fortress of takeout and tension. Tommy holed in a safe house. Per his deal. But leak stripped. Girlfriend in Aruba. Yacht christened Ma's ruin. Petty. But it fueled me. Workouts in the snow. Weights lifting ghosts. Climax brewed in recesses. Evelyn's whisper. We got him. Interpol nabbed a mule in Nassau. Tommy's cut traced. He's folding. But twists thrive in trials. Night before closing. A visitor, Grant Langford. Free on technicals. Face gaunt as his empire's corpse.
Sadie.
Truce. We met in a diner off Liberty Avenue. Eggs over easy. Coffee black. Why? Tommy approached me first. In turn, gig a setup.
But you.
You fought fair. Unlike him. Fair? I snorted. Fair's for fools. He slid a thumb drive. Insurance. His burner chats planning to pin it all on you. Post-trial. Escape to Vancouver. Gift horse. Teeth sharp. I pocketed it. Nodded. Thanks. Oh, you. Pay it by winning. Court reconvened under thunderheads. Jury tense as bowstrings. Prosecution rested weak, circumstantial. Tommy's testimony the spine. Defense, Evelyn Symphony. Vicky's tears. Forensics expert dismantling the deepfake pixel by pixel. Authored on a Mac trace to Mr. Hargrove's IP. Then me on stand. Voice steady.
First Person rau.
I died once. Metaphorically. Betrayed by blood. This. Gesture to Tommy. Shrinking in his seat. Resurrection's price. Jury deliberated 2 days. Eternity in limbo. Verdict, not guilty.
Me.
Tommy, deal revoked. Remanded pending charges, fraud, forgery, conspiracy. His scream echoed down the hall. Ma, you promised. I promised nothing. I called back. Chains on him now. Outside. Rain lashed. Media swarm parting for my stride. Evelyn hugged fierce. Hero. Sadie. Survivor. But the high crashed hard, cabin empty. Whiskey whispering what-ifs. Had I broken him? Or freed us? Twists coda, summer solstice. Package arrives, no sender. Inside. Rick's wedding ring. Engraved forever. SNR. And a letter. Tommy's hand. From county lockup.
Ma.
You win. But know this. The reset? I hacked your phone years back, therapy apps. Searches on second chances. Planted the deepfake to test you.
Lucin. Ours.
I tampered the brakes. Kids prank gone wrong. Dad swerved. Lou covered. You suspected. This con? To force your hand. Make you fight back. Love's a scam. But blood's the payout. Forgive?
Nah.
But live. For once. I crumpled it. Flames devouring truth. Prank? Murder by mischief? The secret unburied. Deeper rot. Tommy. Not Lou. The architect of our ruin. Controversial end. I visited him once. Plexiglass barrier. His eyes hollowed. Why? Cycle.
Ma.
Break it or be it. I walked. No reply. Happy?
No. Tragiquecho.
Revenge a mirror cracking. But in the Poconos gold autumn, hiking trails alone, I breathed free. Reborn not to ruin, but reclaim. Sadie Hargrove, accountant. Avenger.
Alive.
The American way, messy. Merciless. Maybe mended.